Hi there, this is Jessica Bieber, and I'm here to give you a quick overview of CVC Commotion. My instructional problem was that with the Common Core standards, kindergarten students are being asked to do more and more than ever before, and a huge emphasis is placed on the ability to read and write CVC or consonant vowel consonant words. So this is my idea of why I created CVC Commotion. My intended audience is for kindergarten students who are learning CVC words. It also can be for those high-achieving preschool-age students or low-achieving first-grade students. They could also benefit from this game. A lot of it was based upon how kindergarten students need to be able to read and write CVC words based upon those Iowa Common Core standards and our FAST, which is our formative assessment system for teachers. The instructional goals and objectives for this are that students will explore a train ride filled with real-world CVC words. They will practice their listening, reading, and writing of CVC words in the game's interface. They will perform this task during our daily 5 literacy instruction when they are at WordWork station, and they will interact with all short A, E, I, O, and U CVC words. The instructional theory that I looked at was the control theory of motivation by William Glasser, and there was a huge emphasis on mastery learning, where grades in his emphasis or in CVC Commotion certificates for my emphasis would be received when the material is mastered. There would be no negativity towards students that need to spend extra time on a checkpoint to gain understanding and mastery. It also is motivating to students because they're able to visit the checkpoints at their own discretion and they're able to get those checkpoint certificates. When looking at some research, I looked at one article for gaming and learning, and it had a lot of things that we've learned so far in our class based upon those digital games and game-based contexts about how students are learning and being exposed to games at younger and younger ages, which truly fits kindergartners. Also looking at repeated practice. It's not a one and done lesson, and that's especially true for CVC words and how we go over them in a period of months over our kindergarten school year. And the other point of research that I looked at was looking at virtual worlds, and CVC Commotion is a virtual world for a student to move their character through a train ride that encompasses CVC word learning. They get to interact as the avatar to go to checkpoints as they pick and travel along their train ride. Competition. I didn't really notice much competition for a game like this. I did notice many CVC games, particularly ones that I already have downloaded on my iPads for my students, but a lot of those are just quick play. None of them are spanned across multiple months of saved progress. When I got to the decision process of how to create this game, I kind of looked at a similar game that my students like to play. It's called Sight Word Adventure, and there were 3 main similarities. They get to choose their own avatar, they get to pick what they do within the game, and it's based upon gameplay. Sight Word Adventure was only based off of sight words, and there was no badge or certificate, versus with CVC Commotion that I would be creating, it's based off of those ever important CVC words. Students would get certificates in the form of train cars, and there's video instruction before the students start the checkpoint, along with if they are struggling. When I looked at standards, I looked at the Iowa Common Core standards for kindergarten. The first one is based off the reading standards and those phonological awareness, where they are able to isolate and pronounce the initial, medial vowel, and final sounds in CVC words, and they are able to add or substitute individual sounds in simple one-syllable words to make new words. Then I also looked at the ISTE standards for students, looking at the creativity and innovation, where they are able to use models and simulations to explore complex systems and issues. Research and information fluency, where they are able to plan their strategy to guide their inquiry. Critical thinking and problem solving and decision making. They are able to identify and engage in authentic problems. They're able to plan and develop solutions to complete a project, and they're able to collect data to identify how to solve the problem. Digital citizenship is a huge one, where they are able to advocate and practice safe and responsible ways to use technology. They just display a positive attitude towards using technology, and they demonstrate personal responsibility for lifelong learning. And the final one is technology operations and concepts, where they understand and use technology systems. The context for the use: students could play CVC Commotion at the Word Workstation during Daily 5 literacy instruction, and they would be developing their CVC word mastery and enhance their checkpoint status and interaction with the game. The scope would be over a 9-month school year. Some would be able to complete it within 4 months, and others it would take up to 9 months. This would be during the Daily 5 literacy instruction, like has been stated, and they would get to participate in this 2 to 3 times a week for 15-minute sessions. The checkpoints would be various things dealing with CVC words. They could be listening, matching, reading, typing, manipulating, and creating their own CVC words. Here's an example of the different checkpoints that they would be using. Each vowel would have 6 checkpoints along with a challenge problem. That challenge problem would be based upon they would be creating their own CVC words and putting them into a sentence. And then there would also be a mixed column where the vowels would all be mixed together. The object of the game and rules. The students would work through a series of QR checkpoints throughout the classroom that would take the student to the iPad app that deals with certain CVC word families. When they are at the checkpoint, students will be interacting with a short video of the teacher explaining the word family and what the task will be within the checkpoint. The checkpoint will then begin to take the students on a train ride of tasks to learn the CVC word family. If they need more instruction, there will be a video that prompts them, and the instruction will come in the form of a video to then slowly release them back to the task. Once students have completed the checkpoint, they will continue on through their train ride to find the next QR code in the room to keep on the journey, and certificates will be awarded by completing checkpoints within a certain time or tries. When they complete the checkpoint, or they can complete the checkpoints in any order, and it'll track their journey as they complete this, and they will start to notice a pattern throughout each checkpoint. The design details: students are able to pick which narrator's voice they would like. There would be 3 different options. They can create their own avatar based on gender, hair color, eye color, skin color, and outfit color, and their train engine color. And here are some examples of the graphic images. For the first one, checkpoints will be located on an actual map of the United States, with each vowel creating their own route. Avatars would assume the role of the train conductor. Students would have those abilities to change those things that were listed before. And then down below is an example of the train. Students would get to determine the color of the train engine. And as each certificate is earned, a train car will be added to the student's train based upon the color of certificate that has been earned. This is a quick overview of CVC Commotion.